Hi guys. Today is another TBR video because we are officially going into July. Actually insane. Actually crazy. We're now really halfway through the year. And this month, I decided to leave my TBR up to my siblings. Specifically, my younger sister and my younger brother. They have chosen my TBR this month. These are not the only siblings I have. I have 3 older brothers and another younger brother that didn't participate because the older 3 are in New York and my younger brother did not want to do it, which is fine. So my other younger brother and my younger sister chose for me, and they definitely chose. They filmed clips of them choosing different books, so you guys will see those, and then I'm gonna choose 2 other books or probably 3, just because there's 2 books that I need to read anyway for videos that I also want to read. So I'm gonna show you those and then I will show you their clips. Let me go get the books that I have chosen for myself. Okay, so for the 3 books that I've chosen for myself, 2 of them are for videos, but I have been wanting to read them for quite a while. And then another book is a part of a series. If you haven't noticed a change in the bookshelves behind me, it's a Frederick Bachman book. It's Us Against You. This is the book that I've chosen for myself, not for any videos, just because I just really want to read this, and I feel like I'm finally ready to get back into the Beartown universe. If you don't know, I read this book. Well, I read Beartown in July of last year, July of 2023. And his books really make me sad. The endings are always pretty sad to me. So I do have to pace myself and kind of spread out when I read his books, but I do love Frederick Bachman's books. And since I finished it on the 4th of July last year, I should start it around the same time. I should start this one around the same time as I did last year. So yeah, I love the characters. Well, I loved most of the characters in the first book. Benji, love. And I'm just scared that something's gonna happen to Benji, which is why I haven't really finished the series. But I think right now I'm ready. So this is one book that I chose for myself because I just think that I'm ready, and I love Frederick Bachman and his writing and everything. So yeah, this is the first book, the one that I've chosen for myself. The next book, which is going to be in a video, is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. This book is a memoir about Chanel Miller. I think she was assaulted at a college party, I think is what happened to her. And the criminal justice system failed her. They didn't help her in the way that she should have been helped. She didn't get any justice. So I think, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I think that's what this is about. But I've heard so many great things about this memoir. I've had this since, I want to say maybe September or August, some around that time. So I've had this for a while. So I'm really excited to read this. So this is for a video, and then the other book for that video is Leave the World Behind by Ramon Alam. You guys, if you guys know anything about these books, you guys may be able to figure out what video I'm filming. But Leave the World Behind by Ramon Alam is a thriller. I think it takes place in the winter in Long Island. Yeah, Long Island, New York. I'm from New York, not Long Island. But that's really all I know. And this family goes to this house in Long Island because they want to get away from the city, and there's a power outage. I think. Yeah, there's like a blackout, and the people who own the house come back and they're like, there's a power outage, like we have nowhere else to go. So we came back here, and now we're like, I don't know. It's a thriller though. And I've had this book for way too long for it to still be on my TBR. So we're gonna read this month. I don't have a choice because these two are part of a video that I'm filming, so I have to read them. This one I'm excited about. This one I'm also excited about, but just like a little iffy, you know, because I just don't know how it's gonna be. But yeah, those are the 3 books that I've chosen for myself. And yeah, now you guys are gonna see the videos from my siblings. I don't know how these videos look because I was in the room when my brother recorded, but I was not in the room when my sister recorded. And also, like, I just don't know how they look. So you guys are just gonna have to deal with it if they're a little shaky or whatever. Leave them alone. Anyway, yeah. So first is gonna be my sister, and then I'm gonna come back and talk about the books that she has chosen. And then I'll do the same with my brother, but cue her.
Hi, I'm Jenna's sister, and I'm gonna pick 2 books for her to read. So I think I'm gonna pick off of this shelf right here and pick this book because I like the flowers on the cover. Very pretty. And then I think I'm gonna pick from this shelf. I'm gonna pick this book right here. If I can grab it. Because I like that the cover is like a lake and it looks like it's summertime. So, and I like the summer. So I picked this one.
So as you could see, my sister chose very romance books, summer coded, and good thing it's the summer. She chose Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams and Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I don't know if I didn't watch their videos yet, and I was not in the room when she filmed hers, so I don't know the reasons why. I know she did say, because we did something after, and she was like, I was like, oh, Every Summer After, like, and it's the summer. She's like, that's why I chose it. So I think she chose this one because it's the summer. Don't know why she chose this book. She has her reasons, I'm sure. But Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams is the second book in the When in Rome series. Like, I don't know what it's called, but it's the second book in that series. I did really enjoy the first book. I don't remember what I rated it, but I did really enjoy it. The reason why it has taken me a long time to read this book is because I think it has a bodyguard trope in it. I know he's a bodyguard. I don't know if it's like fully in the bodyguard trope, like he's her bodyguard, because I think he's Amelia Rose. I think he's her bodyguard. So I don't think it's gonna be really diving into the fact that he is a bodyguard, but I don't like the bodyguard trope. Crazy. I know everyone loves it, but I don't. It's not my thing. But maybe I'll enjoy this book. I know, like, this book, he's like teaching her how to date. Is that what's happening? Yeah, he's like teaching her how to date. We'll see. I did really like seeing, what was his name? Noah? Yeah, I did like seeing Noah's sisters in the book, in the first book. So I am excited that we get a book for one of his sisters. So I think, and I also think I'll like seeing Noah and Amelia in this book. But yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll love this book. Maybe it'll be a 5 stars. We never know. We never know. And then the second book she chose was Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This book I've actually heard pretty good things about. It's the one that comes after this that I haven't heard good things about. So I'm kind of nervous. And also people say that this is kind of like very, 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 very similar to Love in Other Words. I love Love in Other Words with all of my heart. That is a 5-star book. That is one of my favorite books of all time. So I'm going to be comparing, if people are saying, oh, this is like Love in Other Words, I'm going to be comparing this book to that, and I don't think that's fair. But we'll see. So it's a second chance romance. I think they spent like one day together. and then like they didn't see each other for like 10 years. Let me see. Okay, it wasn't 10 years, it was 6 years. They spent like a weekend together, or yeah, like a weekend together, and then they promised to meet each other. Wait a second. Ooh, let me read this for you. They say you can never go home again, and for Persephone Fraser, ever since she made the biggest mistake of her life a decade ago, that has felt too true. Instead of spending glittering summers on the lakeshore of her childhood, she stays home in a stylish apartment in the city, keeping everyone a safe distance from her heart. Until she receives a call that sends her racing back to Barry's Bay and into the orbit of Sam Florek, the man she never thought she'd have to live without. For 6 summers, through hazy afternoons on the water and warm summer nights working in his family's restaurant, Percy and Sam have been inseparable. Eventually, that friendship turned into something more before it fell spectacularly apart. When Percy returns to life for Sam's mother's funeral, their connection is as undeniable as it has always been. But until Percy can confront the decision she made, they'll never know whether their love is bigger than the mistakes of their past. Told over the course of 6 years and 1 weekend every summer after is a gorgeously nostalgic look at love and the people and choices that mark us forever. So something happened, but they had 1 weekend together. They haven't seen each other for like 6 years, and then she has to work with it in his restaurant, and they have to confront whatever happened and the feelings that they have for each other, whatever. It's a summer book. We're in the summer, peak summer, 100 degrees here in Texas. It is summertime. And the cover is gorgeous. I love her covers. That's one thing I will give Carly Fortune. Her covers are beautiful. But yeah, I am excited to read this book. I'm just very nervous, but I am excited. Hopefully what's in the book is as beautiful as what's on the cover. Hopefully. But now I'll pass the camera to my brother, and he'll pick out books for me too. This is editing Janaya, right? And I'm looking at, like, I'm editing, so I'm looking at all the clips, and I saw the clip of my brother like picking the books. The room is messy, okay? It's a little messy. I'm human, okay? Okay, leave me alone. Just ignore it. Act like it's the cleanest room you've ever seen in your entire life, okay? We don't have to talk about it. That's all I need to say. Keep your comments to yourself. Thank you.
I'm Janaya's brother. I forgot what book she told me she read already, so I'm gonna just pick whatever I want to.
These Stephen King books looking kind of nice. I don't know though. Let's keep looking. Let's throw this in the maybe pile. You feel me? These two stuck out to me.
I didn't pick it though.
And this one. Billy Summers.
Okay, as you can see, my brother chose 2 completely different books than what my sister chose. I personally would not say they are summer books, but he says that one of them is a summer book, and that is Billy Summers by Stephen King. It's because the last name is Summers, so he's like, oh, it's a summer book. Anyway, I love Stephen King. I've only had one flop by Stephen King, and we don't have to talk about that. This, I have good feelings about. I do. This is basically about Billy Summers. He is a serial killer, I'm pretty sure. And he only kills people who deserve it. He only kills people who need to. Okay, I shouldn't say that. That's not nice. He kills people who deserve it. And now he wants to get out of this. He doesn't want to do it anymore. So yeah, he doesn't want to do it anymore. And he says before he can do that, though, there's one last hit, which promises a generous payday at the end of the line, even as things don't seem quite on the level here. Given that Billy is among the most talented snipers in the world, A decorated Iraq war vet and a virtual Houdini when it comes to vanishing after the job is done. What could possibly go wrong? How about everything? I know in this book there is a bit of a romance. It's like a side plot romance. If I'm going to be completely honest, I do enjoy good romance books, but I do not really care for romance being in every single book that I read. So I don't think it's really gonna make it. If the romance is bad, if the romance is good, I don't think it's gonna make or break my feelings on this book. I genuinely don't think I would care. Just because I love Stephen King's writing as it is, and I just don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna bother me as much as it may bother other people. But yeah, this is more like a mystery more than it is a thriller horror, as we see a lot in Stephen King. This is definitely more of like a mystery type book, but I am very excited about it. As we know, his books are a little thick, but I am excited to read this. So this was a good pick on his part. Good pick. I'll give it to him. Next book, I don't think it is a summer book, but I've said this before and I'll say it again. If it's a thriller book, I will read it at any time of the year, and I do not care. I could read a thriller book in 100 degrees. I could read a thriller book in 20 degrees. It doesn't change anything for me. I'm a thriller girl. But Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Raybourn. I got this book in 2022. December of 2022. I've had this book for a year and a half. Yeah, a little crazy. But I might read it this month. Might. Don't want to put any false expectations out there. I may read it this month. This book is basically about these. Oh wow, what's up with him and choosing books with serial killers? Well, they're not necessarily serial killers, they're assassins, but like, that's kind of the same thing, right? I think so. Anyway, this is about assassins and they're old ladies, I think. They're about these old ladies that are assassins, and then they retire, but then they find out that people are trying to, like, they're after them. Someone put a hit out on them. So then they're like, well, back in the game. So then they go after them. Oh my gosh, wait. Okay, I don't know how old they are, but they were assassins for 40 years. So I think they gotta be at least in their 60s. So like, they're kind of old. But not like old, just a little bit, you know? Billy, Mary Alice, Helen, and Natalie are their names. So yeah. They've been marked for death, and they then gotta find out who's trying to kill them and kill them first. What can go wrong? What can go wrong? Anyway, those are the two books that he chose. And that is the end of my siblings choosing my TBR. Honestly, pretty good picks. I'm not mad at the books that they chose. I'm not mad at all. But I'm gonna grab all of them and then do a recap of what we have to read this month. So, for a recap of the books that I'm going to be reading in July, fingers crossed, hopefully. The first book is Leave the World Behind by Ramona Lam. My chosen pick, Know My Name by Chanel Miller. Us Against You by Frederick Bachman. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Raybourn. And lastly, Billy Summers by Stephen King. Those are the books on my July TBR. I do have to kind of figure out what books I want to read when, because at the end of the month I am going to New York, so I won't have all of these to just choose from. So I am gonna have to be pretty specific about the books I read at whatever time I end up reading them. But I am excited about this TBR and about all the books that are on it, so I'm excited about that. But if you guys have read any of these books, do tell me how you feel about them. No spoilers in the comments, please. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys next Tuesday.